excuse the loud right now. The loud. The lawns are all being mowed and weed whacked right now, and there's a horde of kids outside playing and yelling, and it's great noise, but noise nonetheless. A couple of my kids have a cold, a very minor summer cold. A kid at the park coughed in Zag's face the other day. I saw it coming, so I'm making a pot of chicken soup to make them feel better. Because why not? It's kind of been cool and rainy. We have patches of sun and then it'll get rainy and cool, and I'm kind of loving the summer vibe. You know, I'm a burr months kind of girl, so I'm not mad at this. Going to make some sourdough and some soup. This is my favorite way to just make soup. I don't have a recipe, I follow more of a formula. The base of more soups are onions sweated in a pot in some oil or butter, and then you add your carrots, celery, kind of bulk vegetables, and then you'll add your spices, your herbs, all of that. Then you add your chicken stock or your bouillon, and then your water, and then your, in this case, I'm making chicken soup, so chicken and your pasta and a good bay leaf, and you just let it all simmer together for like half an hour, and it creates a beautiful soup. So you can basically make soup from that formula with anything instead of the bouillon. And at the herb stage, if you're not making like a chicken white broth soup, you would add like tomato paste and maybe beef broth and stuff. So once you learn the foundations of like the formula of cooking, it really makes throwing things together and being good at being an ingredient household really simple. So I just wanted to share that tip because every time I make soup, everybody's like, what's your recipe? And I never have one to share because I just use my soup formula. Hi friends, it is a cozy rainy day. It has been such a rainy summer, and I thought this would be a good time to just sit down and give you a little life update because I took a bit of a break. You guys know that it's been a really tough summer for our family. The move was really stressful. It was really sudden. It was not our plan. And then we've just gone through like a lot of stuff, so much so that like looking back, I'm like, wow, oh yeah, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this. There's so many things that I didn't mention or didn't tell you about, as always, you know, life is like that. But it was just a lot. And then I had a miscarriage at the beginning of June, and then I actually got pregnant again right away after that miscarriage, and then I also lost that pregnancy as well. So I had two back-to-back miscarriages. I didn't like I shared about the first one, and I just shared about the second one on Instagram after the fact, but I never spoke about it here until now. So it's been a lot, like a lot. But I do just want to give a little update on how I'm doing and just life, you know. So I thought this would be a good cozy video to do that and to sit down and chat with you. I'm actually doing really well. I know a lot of people are checking in on me and have been over the last few weeks and being like, are you actually okay? But I am. You know, that was I cannot stress how much stuff was happening in our life in June. There was so much, so many moving parts, so many things that I'm not going to speak about here because it's not my place, or it's not my thing to share, or I simply just don't need the internet to know all of my business. There was so much, and it was probably one of the most stressful months of our life, Cody and I. Like, it was insane. And I really, 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 truly, like, personally believe that the stress that I was under had a huge, huge role to play in why I lost those two pregnancies. And it wasn't something like we didn't expect to be under that level of stress. It just happened. And now that we're out of it, we've unpacked our house. We got unpacked right away. And we got back into our rhythm, and I just took a month off from everything, basically. I would post a little bit here and there, just like fluffy things, and I stayed off my phone aside from like posting some things. I picked up books again and started reading, like really getting lost in books. I haven't read for so long. I don't know, all my pregnancy, sorry, whenever I'm itching my nose, I feel like people are gonna think I'm like picking my boogers, but I have a nose ring. I have 2 nose rings and sometimes they get itchy, especially if I have anything on my face, like, ugh, anything on my face by like glasses, makeup, anything. So I do apologize if I'm just like, itching my nose. I feel like when I get pregnant, I don't read through my pregnancy for some reason. I don't know. I just get like a little bit, I don't even know what the word is. I don't even know how to explain the feeling I get, but it's really hard for me to do some of my normal things when I'm pregnant. It's weird, but it is what it is. Anyway, so when I got pregnant with Zagreus, I kind of just like threw reading out the window. And I would try a little bit. I just wasn't into it and I just wasn't feeling it. And then I just made excuses of like, oh, I'm too busy to read. And honestly, I wasn't. I would just get distracted on my phone and then my night would be gone or whatever. Like the pockets that I had where I wasn't parenting, I was distracted on my phone and letting myself just get carried away scrolling. And so finally, I used this opportunity to just be like, enough is enough. Put the freaking phone, throw it across the room and pick up a book. And instantly I was like back in. I'm a huge reader. I've always been a huge reader. And it's been so peaceful. So peaceful for me. I have just been crushing books. I have such a huge stack of books that I've been buying to read. And then I just wasn't picking them up to read them. So now I'm finally doing that. Anyway, it has been really, really nice for my heart and my soul and my mental health. It's just been exactly what I've needed. I've been doing a lot of analog things, if that makes sense. I'm really focusing on living more of an analog life. Being on my phone if I'm going to be on my phone, I'm trying to make it creative time. Excuse my bird. Like filming, editing, doing something that sparks my creativity. Use it as a tool for creativity like this, doing something on it instead of just like being mindless on my phone or consuming other people's lives all the time. There's a lot of like the fast consumption of social media and stuff. It's not like valuable consumption. I love watching YouTube videos. I'll do that while I fold laundry and stuff like that, but I feel like I have people that I follow and subscribe to that I've watched for years and years, and it feels more intentional than just like seeing like 30 seconds of a whole bunch of people's lives and opinions. It's like, at least here I like am choosing somebody that I align with in some way or another, or makes me feel good or something, right? So it just feels a little bit more intentional, but I've been trying to do things like painting instead, and drawing and reading and crocheting and doing things that bring me joy, going for walks, getting together with friends and having tea, just spending more quality time, but just like a quieter quality time, playing more board games, doing things more intentionally and in an analog format instead of constantly being distracted by digital crap. So that has made a huge difference in my summer, and I am going to really strive to keep that up and just go further and further into that, because it is making me feel so good. It's making me feel like I can process things faster. It's making me feel like I have more time and space in my days. It just makes me feel like I'm getting better sleeps, and I don't know, it's just better for me. So anyway, there's a lot happening in our family, and I will probably update that later on, or some more stuff later on. We're just very busy with the big kids too. They're doing lots of stuff. The little ones are getting so big and running all around, and I officially have 2 toddlers now. So that is an adventure, but a very fun one. And we're going to be starting like gentle Waldorf preschool stuff with Zag in the fall, and I'm really excited for that. There's just an element of change in our family right now with the move, and it's snowballed into other things, and it feels really peaceful. It feels really good. If you would have told me 3 months ago that all of the change we would experience and like lay it out like that, I probably would have been like, no way, that would like give me so much anxiety, or like I wouldn't like that. but it genuinely has felt so peaceful. Like this house feels like our home, and the choices we're making for our family lately, they feel really good, and it feels just easy and peaceful, and I'm very grateful for that. I've even been editing my friendships lately, and maybe that sounds weird, but I don't know what it's been. Just this whole experience and having like a lot of life happen to me at once has just made me realize that I just want to keep my circle really small, really tight. I'm the kind of person where if I can't talk to you, like open everything up and just speak unfiltered, not trying to be anybody besides who I am, and just sharing life and real life and not editing myself and stuff like that. Like if I feel like I can't be like that with somebody all the time, and then they can also be like that with me, and then things that are said don't leave the circle, I don't want it. And that's just where I'm in. I'm in a very quiet, I posted a reel today. I'm just in a very quiet era of my motherhood. I don't want drama. I don't want weird energy. I just want calm, and I want peace, and I don't know, I'm just protecting my peace at all costs in this stage of my life with everyone. So it's been a nice break, but it's been a break where I've been doing a lot of personal work, if that makes sense. So anyway, I just share all this because every time I open up like this, I always get at least one message or something by somebody being like, oh, I really needed to hear that I could do that, that I could edit my friendships, or if I didn't have to be friends with everybody, or I could walk away. Like, oh my gosh, the amount of conversations I've had lately with women saying like they don't feel like they're anybody's favorite friend, or that, like, a lot, that comes up a lot, that one with many women, and it's like, why do I tolerate that? Like, this makes it sound like I've had some weird friend falling out. I haven't. I have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of friendships that aren't super deep. And I have a lot of and I have some really good quality friends. I have this thing where I feel like I have to be everybody's best friend. And that's a personal thing from me that I need to have better boundaries with. And I just realized I don't need to do that. And for me, it's better if I just scoop in. But this feeling that so many people feel, and I felt this too before, like feeling like you're everybody's fallback, or you're not people's first choice. You do so much for other people, and then when you need something, it's never reciprocated. Nobody checks in on you, things like that. And if you need the permission, I feel like I'm just saying this, I didn't plan to say this, but somebody out there must need to hear it. But you deserve to sit at tables who value you, who pick you first. And if those tables aren't there, if there are no tables where people are picking you first, and you're always going to be picked last and taken advantage of and not loved the way you deserve to be loved, then you can sit alone and be powerful in sitting alone. Sit alone. That's okay. And not in a, you don't need anybody, because I feel like women really do need friendships, and I think it's important. But you don't need to be sitting at tables that talk about you when you leave and get up. You don't need to be sitting at tables that just don't value you, or think that you're too weird, or tolerate you. You deserve more than to be tolerated. Right? Anyway, that was a little rant I didn't plan to go on, but I just thought I would just sit down and have a little chat with you guys and give you a little bit of an update, and obviously share about what's happened with me over the last little bit. And I just wanted to share the news in this space as well about my losses. And having back-to-back losses was really hard. But I do feel like the space and just having the peace, and then being in this house and having moved, it really gave me time and permission and space to really feel all my feelings and process everything. And for me, the biggest thing is not going forward with fear. So I've been doing a lot of work, personal work on that. I don't want to bring any fear into the next pregnancy. I don't want to bring this feeling of oh, okay, I'm pregnant, but what if I'm not in next week? And what if I don't want to bring that into anything. And when you've experienced any form of loss, it's really hard to not bring that in. And I'm sure there will be elements, it'll be something I'm constantly having to work on, at least for a good chunk of time. But it's really important to me to do that work and to make sure that I am giving, like, I'm such a big passionate person and advocate of conscious conception and really inviting that baby's spirit in before you get pregnant, just making that connection with your baby. I've always felt every single one of, sorry, that's my shower dripping. I've always felt every single one of my babies call to me before I even conceive them. That's how I've known, okay, we need to have another baby because there's somebody else there. There's somebody else out there. And I have this peace about it, and each pregnancy and each baby deserves my full work, my full attention, my full stripping away of whatever needs to be stripped. Like, I feel like every baby has undone me and taught me what I need to learn in that season. And so I just like really have learned to just let the process take me. And in that same breath, like, I feel this baby so strongly, and I have for a long time, and I just trust, and I'm just being peaceful and trusting, and then just letting life kind of carve the path forward. There's been a lot of little things in my life that I felt like, oh, this is not what I expected, and then I'm realizing, oh, that's kind of opening up more space for me. Oh, this is opening up more space for me to have this other baby. Not that I didn't have space before, but like, oh, the space is getting larger. Oh, that makes more sense for this. Okay. And it's just this flow. So that's kind of where I've been. I've just been in this little flow state, this little peaceful state, but I started to crave that creativity again. And I realized that I could come back and be creative and share things, even if they were fluffy, even if they didn't get really personal like this all the time. But I could also still do this if I wanted, but I also can just not say a lot, and I can let people assume things, and I can let people be wrong about me, and I can let people fill in the gaps as they would like, and that's okay. And I can go a huge period without sharing anything personal if I want to do that, and that's okay too. Obviously those things might seem like obvious things, but as somebody who is a recovering extreme people pleaser, it's hard for me, and sometimes I have to remind myself over and over that I'm allowed to do those things. I'm allowed to show up here however I want, and algorithm be damned. I don't have to do everything like, I don't have to do things like everybody else is doing them. I don't have to follow a formula. I don't care how many people want to be here or not, you know. I would rather you be here because you enjoy my content and you want to be here and you enjoy the growth and the expansion that just comes with being a real human, than be here because you want to see one specific little piece of me that you saw one time and now you're like, why aren't you posting like this all the time? You know what I mean? Maybe that makes no sense, but I'm just learning and growing, and the point is I want to come back more consistently. I feel like I'm finally in a place where I feel good about that, and taking a step back from like scrolling all the time gives me a lot of space to be on my phone in a more creative way, because scrolling is exhausting, and I didn't realize just like how mentally draining it was. And I'm not saying I like sat on my phone all day or anything, but even like in the pockets that I had, uselessly just doing that was sucking the creativity from my body. And not even, I don't say like creativity like my vlogs or some like epic creative anything, but I'm a storyteller. I've always been like that. I've always liked theater and storytelling and blogging and writing, and there's just something in me that this scratches that itch. So anyway, I'm very happy to be back, and you can expect to see a lot more of me. I am trying to pre-batch a lot of my content and edit and get a little bit ahead of the editing game so that I will always have something for you guys. And so hopefully I don't fall back on not posting. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed our little chat. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you are feeling peaceful yourself. And if you're not, I hope you understand how to get there and you do that for yourself. I'm really trying to embrace more whimsy in my life right now, gosh, whimsy is so important. And not, you don't have to be weird and eclectic like other people, like me, like people who do that, but like you deserve to enjoy the little beautiful things that life has to offer. And there's so many. That whimsy, that excitement for life. I'm really trying to embrace that, but on a more outside level, I'm like not, I've committed myself to not wearing any more leggings and big t-shirts and just getting dressed like that. My baby's like, and that's a way I'm embracing my own whimsy a little bit more. But yeah, I hope you're embracing whimsy of your own. I hope you're doing really well, and I'm excited to spend more time with you. So I will see you soon in my next video. Bye guys.